What's up, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube, everybody out there? This is Philip20 today. It's 8:02 and it's October 22nd. Currently, the bells are not ringing. Don't know why. Can't answer the question for you, but I can tell you this. It's still 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm going to name this project 1357 Magnum. And the reason why I'm going to name it as 1357 Magnum is because this Magnum Magnum energy inverter. Right there. This inverter is so efficient. I just can't believe how efficient it is. With the efficiency of the midnight being slightly off, I'm going to have to send that in. And the Magnum inverter itself, I'm pretty surprised on how well it's done. I've built the system the best that I can. The efficiency was the main priority for everything. I went with the very top efficiency I could get with the most reliable equipment I could find. And then it put me in a situation that's beneficial. I mean, let's go ahead and take a look here at our current state of charge. State of charge is 75% battery capacity. That means I'm doing pretty good. Now, the next problem that I'm going to have to face is heating my house. And currently, I don't have any heat besides gas logs. I do have a small heater, which is a receptacle oil heater I found from a thrift store for $15. By the way, it's a good place to go and look. And it's not a newer one, it's an older model, so it's got some really thick metal on it. Really good system. But this right here is going to be my next heating project. If you haven't kept up, this is going to go inside the ductwork. I'm going to run water or antifreeze through these lines, and these lines are going to be hooked up to some type of heating device. Now, there's a couple of different ways I can do a heating with this. Now, I could use these heaters on a hot water tank. These heaters will insert into a hot water tank and they'll heat up 600 watts each. That's 1200 watts. Now you're going to be screaming at the wall saying, oh my gosh, Philip, you can't do that because a hot water heater requires about 4,500 watts to 5,000 watts just to run the hot water heater, and you run it off at 240 volts. These elements are 24 volt 600 watt elements. I can install these elements into your standard hot water tank and heat it 1200 watts. Now, since they're DC power and they're 24 volts, if I run a number 10 gauge wire here to here, and then from here to there, from there to a positive and there to a negative on a 48 volt battery bank, I would have 24 volts on this element, 24 volts on this element, 25 amps going to both of them since they're both identical elements, and that would be 600 watts each. In theory, this will work well. I would obviously have to put fuse links onto it, and I would have to come up with a thermostat for it that can handle 25 amps. But I don't think it's going to be a big problem because in the field of heating, I deal with heating systems all the time, and what I would do is build a relay system that uses a 24 volt transformer to run the circuitry to turn on and off relay for thermostat, and that's going to be pretty easy. The most important part for me is basically getting a hot water tank. That's a big if right now. Now, I have talked to Yankee 4 about something else that I was interested into doing. I need to look into getting 4 more batteries, and then I'll have a total of 16 batteries. Instead of having 8 in my battery bank, I would have 16. Well, I just said 4. Well, it requires 8 batteries per bank, and I've got 4 right now that is being unused. So I could actually, in theory, run a 24 volt battery bank and run both of these in parallel instead of series. So I've got 2 choices. I can actually add capacity to my system with a 24 volt battery bank, but it increases the size of the wire that I'm going to use going over to the hot water tank, which either way isn't a bad thing. And that gives me additional capacity at night as well. So that's something to think about. You know, this is going to be really a project that's easier than I thought, because a water loop on a hot water tank is much easier than a large solar array loop with you know, panels outside on the roof with glass covering them and this and that. I can just heat up the hot water with these 2 elements, and then I have hot water, and then I run the hot water through this coil that would be inside the ductwork. And then I've got a Carrier Infinity indoor unit, which is a really efficient indoor air handler, and it will blow air at around 300 to 100 watts of power throughout the entire house. So I could blow air across this coil at 300 to 100 watts, run a water pump, and I already have a transformer over there that I can use the control systems for. So it could be, in theory, a really good way to go. Now, being that said, I had been saving up some money for November the 10th. November the 10th comes around, there's something coming out for my other channel that I was excited for. And I'm thinking about canceling what I had pre-ordered. I pre-ordered a PlayStation 4 that is designed to run 4K resolution recording. And that's going to put me in a situation where I can take that money and put it towards a hot water tank. If I was to grow my other channel very well with the PlayStation 4, you know, I think it will be beneficial. But currently, this channel here is growing, and it's growing very well into my perspective. So I think it'd be best if we was to work with this channel instead. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cancel the PlayStation 4 pre-order, and I'm going to talk with my wife and see what she thinks about doing a hot water heating system. It is cheaper than buying 4 more batteries. So, I mean, I will have to buy a few connectors. I've got some PEX pipe here. I got a PEX crimper, so I can use basically the PEX stuff. This thing is holding water. And I have a water pump to pump water through here, but it's a 12 volt water pump. I don't have a 110 volt water pump. So I haven't came up with the resolution on that yet, but this is what we're talking about, thinking about. Put in the comment section below what you guys think. This is Phil at 20 with solar power, electricity, and electronics. I'm going to try to heat with you guys later.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. There's lots more content coming. Click the subscribe button below. Make sure you come back for more, because there's great content always coming up every day in this channel. See you next time. Peace.